Watkanuradu, welcome to this political update for the 3rd of June 2015, and boy, it has been a busy time. The Truth and Reconciliation report came out, the final report, and the general consensus in Kahnawake, they're happy to see the report, and you can check out some of the media on that, lots and lots of coverage. And in Kahnawake, plenty of people who are not very impressed with the Minister of Aboriginal Affairs, Bernard Valcourt, who refused to stand when Murray Sinclair, the Justice Murray Sinclair, who was the basically head of the commission, made the presentation. He was the only guy sitting down, and there's going to be more on that in the days to come. Yesterday, the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake announced a deal to work with Sports Interaction here in Kahnawake. That is a gaming site. It looks like this is going to be the first time that the MCK and Kahnawake will actually participate in the gaming side of internet gaming. And a press conference, a media event was held with the local media, and Chief Mike DeLille spoke on the issue.
Yesterday signed a deal with a longtime KGC licensee, Sports Interaction, to become basically Sports Interaction under a new name of Mohawk Online. The press release speaks for itself. We've been looking for revenues from online gaming services within the community for years, have gained millions, tens of millions in terms of helping Kahnawake establish its jurisdiction and help develop internally through infrastructures and so on. Now, as we've talked about for many, many years, becoming involved directly as an online gamer in the field, again, will be taking on the responsibility of Sports Interaction globally. The market that isn't tapped into yet, being US, based on what they call Black Friday, several years ago, is still being worked on in the United States. It's a KGC issue that is ongoing. But this opens up the Canadian market, as we've seen in the past through the attempts from the province of Quebec and the BC and Ontario lottery corporations. Their inability to do something across Canada severely limits their ability to generate the type of revenue that they've made the investment on. This one we believe on behalf of Kahnawake, spreading its jurisdictional wings once again across Canada to allow us to take players from everywhere in this country they call Canada.
And there will be plenty of more detail on that deal early next week. In the meantime, membership continues to be in the news, and joining us on this program is Chief Kahnawake's Sky Deer, who is the membership portfolio chief. So the plan has been announced, and there are different things in the works, such as more information to the community, getting outside community and media to understand better what are the issues here. Some debates are planned, something that had been put aside when the lawsuit was announced. One of the parts of the plan that has come to fore is the idea of a referendum. Now, the idea of getting a definitive answer where the community stands is one that scares some people, and it's in the plan. What can you tell us?
Well, like you said, there's a number of points that the Mohawk Council is looking to do. First and foremost, information to the community and understanding of the history of where this came from is paramount if we are going to go to a referendum, so that people can make an informed decision. We do plan on meeting with more focus groups, community groups, to get some sentiment on this direction that we set forth. We've met with a group of people today who are not in support of having a referendum, because they said, how many times are we going to go through this consultation to, I guess, reiterate that this is a true will of the people. But I guess where that came from was, in the past we had heard some of the people who are in contravention of the law saying, if you could show me numbers, I'll leave. I'll abide by it then, because I don't honestly think that it's the will of the community today. As most people know, the moratorium is 34 years old now, so it was kind of council's attempt to reconfirm, if you will, that this is still the sentiment and feeling of the community. But it's not set in stone. We put this plan out there. We're hopeful that the community understands that we are under pressure right now. We want to ensure the safety of the community. You know, we don't want any more incidences where, you know, we heard over the 2 weekends ago that people were willing to drag a person out of their home. We don't want it to get to that point. So understandable that we came up with a plan. Some people are happy with it, some aren't. But, you know, more to come. We're going to be meeting over the summer for sure.
One of the concerns that was raised was that it will be a compromise for the community decision-making process.
Oh, well, the thing is, right now, membership was in community decision-making process. This question revolves around residency and who could reside in the community. There's been I guess, an attempt or a push to say that they probably need to be separated, and this question, however it's going to be phrased, is basically the impetus for that. So if we can show that there's a need for a residency law through this question, how it's going to be posed, it's not necessarily to make a compromise and say we're going to allow this to happen in the future. It's going to be based on community direction and if that law is needed. But definitely CDMP is still relevant in the membership law. We are still going to go through it accordingly. But again, like I said, the referendum question was more about getting set direction on where we go with who could reside in the community.
All right, and of course more to come. There is an election coming up in just a matter of a couple of weeks, so the direction on this could change somewhat, but that remains to be seen. One of the other things that happened here at the MCK in the past few days was the signing of a mutual assistance agreement with several of the firefighting departments in the surrounding region. So the ceremonial signing was done here in Kahnawake, and a more formal event will be held so that everyone will get to dress in their dress uniforms, and it'll be a nice photo op. That is coming up in the weeks to come, and it'll be announced later on. And finally, with the elections coming up, don't forget, Tuesday the 9th of June will be Candidates Night, 6 p.m. at the Knights of Columbus Hall. Also, the early poll is coming up a few days after that on the Saturday. If you'd like to be a participant in the early poll, just check the website and the information on there is available to you. And election comes up on Saturday, June the 20th. And that's our political update this time around. Thanks for watching.